Here we go. Right. Now we're cooking. Sorry about that, guys. Righto. So we've got a new member to welcome to the team. Actually, I don't think Jennifer is actually on tonight, but Jennifer has just joined. So she signed up like the day that I left for holiday, pretty much. So we're on a call that morning and we're leaving in like half an hour. So it was like absolutely frantic. So she'll meet me when I'm a bit more normal and chilled. But yeah, Jennifer has joined the group. So you'll probably see her in the Facebook group. You might see her at the gym if MD's kind of passing ships and whatever, that kind of thing. So welcome to Jennifer. Let's kick off then with the usual 3 things you're proud of achieving last week. So obviously I didn't see anyone last week whilst I was away, so buzzing to see what's been going well for everyone for the last week of September. So if you want to fire 3 things you're proud of achieving in the chat box, and we can go through them and see what's been going well. It's always good. I'll reflect in a wee minute on, you know, lessons and things that we're not doing well. It's always good to share things that are going well. If you can't think of 3 things, I can always help you with 3 things. So if you fire them away in the wee chat box there. Leslie, 6 AM classes and nothing else. What are you talking about? Talk to me, what happened last week?
Really rubbish. So I don't have any excuses. I've just been rubbish.
What was rubbish?
I've been totally off it. Like, just work has been mental, stress levels have been mental, the usual shenanigans, but just kind of totally off it.
Right. And was that food wise or what were you thinking?
Food wise, definitely. Classes not so much. Food wise, exercise not so much, but definitely food off completely.
Okay. So
I had Hannah's 18th, so I've now got no celebrations until Christmas, so I'm on it.
Nice. Well, that's good. Like, at least you know that you've got a kind of clear path until Christmas, and it'll give you a wee chance to get back on it, I suppose. But like you says, work was mental. It was an off week, and that happens sometimes. And also, if you've got like Hannah's birthday and stuff like that, is a biggie. That's a good one. As if you're not going to celebrate that. And at least, like you says, you got your classes in, so that's good. Like, if you didn't even get workouts done, like, it obviously, not that it's the end of the world, but it's probably made you feel better that you've got your workouts done, so that's definitely a win. And if your food stuff wasn't on it, then what can you do? You know, sometimes that happens. And what do you feel like from the week? Was there just no time to, you know, go shopping or anything?
Yeah, no time to do anything other than work.
Yeah, and that sucks. And was work just absolutely wild last week?
Mm-hmm.
Mental. When's your work not mental? It absolutely stresses me out. I get second-hand stress from you. How you do it?
Archie's my stress reliever. Like, where's Fiona?
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there's there. Oh, good boy. Keeping Leslie calm. Oh, I'm glad that you can join us tonight. Oh, that's good that you've got him to keep you getting your walks in and stuff as well, I suppose. Yeah, definitely. Angela has lost weight, steady steps, tried protein powder. What did you think of the protein powder?
Oh, my roommate had this like rank one that had basically banana, choc chip, and something else really rank, and it was like drinking like a cold ice cream is all I can describe this, but yeah, it was pretty rank.
Banana and choc chip?
Oh, it was like brutal. But anyway, I made an effort to drink it, and it did, like, to be fair, if you do drink it, then that's like 10 grams or 20 grams it tops up, which I'm always shy for. So
yeah, but that's so true.
I haven't quite ordered it yet from Amazon. So.
You're normally kind of hovering to that, so I suppose that would give you a good boost, but if you're having to like force it down.
Well, I think I'll just be buying like a normal flavoured one because it looks more like raspberry or something.
Yeah, or that something that's probably a bit of fruity, probably a bit nicer, won't be as heavy.
Maybe, yeah, bit of gin, bit of raspberry, bit of cranberry.
I'll just hide them in my smoothies in the morning, and then you don't really notice. Just shove some fruit in and blend it, and you don't really notice.
Blend it and neck it.
Yeah.
And then well done as well for your weight loss and steady steps. That's really good. Are you feeling good from that?
Yeah, I felt good last week. I was pretty tired. I was away from home though, so it's a bit easier because like I haven't got kid commitments when I'm away, so it's easier to just get out and bang out some steps. So.
Good. I'll get on.
Yeah,
Well
felt
done.
good.
Yeah, I bet.
Brilliant.
Definitely be motivational boost. Yes, all heading in the right direction. Well done. Lauren, so you've not been very motivated, which is understandable because after all the wedding buzz and then your amazing looking honeymoon, and then like you said, crashing back to reality, it must be hard to get back into it again.
Nobody tells you about this. The two of us are like as flat as a pancake after everything.
really?
We came back and we're like, oh my goodness, we just can't get back into it. But I'm sure it just takes a couple of weeks to get motivated again and just get back into it. So
Definitely.
we're both of us are struggling. So I know like if Jamie's kind of struggling to get back into it as well, I think it's just been from like being on such a high and then back to work and normal life again.
Totally. And then the weather's like wintry now
crap.
as well,
Yes.
isn't it? That totally
I went from 40-degree Dubai heat to
4.
exactly
Rain. It's a bit of a crash back to reality right enough, isn't it? But you said you managed to stop drinking after the honeymoon, making homemade soup, taking some lunches. So that's definitely that's good going because like after all that, probably like the eating stuff would probably be quite hard. But if you're finding like those kind of things are going well, then that's really good. What kind of soup did you make?
it was actually the same as you, lentil last week. Just thought I'm going to try and get back into it, stop eating, and I thought I'll just make myself some soup and try and not like be a wee bit more prepped. So my steps have been crap. I've not moved a muscle, but at least I'm kind of trying to eat a bit healthier. So getting back to the exercise this week, I just didn't feel like it. I don't know if anybody else gets weeks like that where you just do not feel like it. So I'm ready to get back.
Good. And then you'll probably feel better once you've got moving. It's always a thought of that, isn't it? But once you actually do it, you feel better, don't you? And back into that routine. Oh, no, good on you, Mrs. Well done. And then Rona made it to boot camp, felt fab after your massage and lunches organised, except from Friday. Remember you said Friday will be a whatever day. Good on you, yeah. So Rona hurt her back, so she'd been missing her boot camp. So you did well getting back to it the other day and obviously being sensible and all that kind of thing. So you probably were buzzing to get back to that, weren't you?
Yeah, do you know, you just miss it so much, and I think then you're away so long that you think, God, the longer I stay away, the harder it's going to be to go back again. So no, it was brilliant being back, even although I was doing nothing like what the rest of them were doing on Friday. But do you know what? It's a step in the right direction, I suppose. So
definitely, yeah, better than nothing, isn't it? At least you were a wee bit more back to that routine again, weren't you? Which was really nice for you. And then feeling fab after your massage, a lovely rewards. That sounds so nice. And then you've got all your lunches sorted for this week as well. So that's really good. That was one for you. Like similar to Leslie, like you'd just be working through lunch and stuff, caught up at your desk and just struggling to kind of like, even eat at lunch, weren't you? Because you weren't really having anything all day, and then come night time.
And it was so stupid. Do you know that way? And you just think, but you allow it to happen, you know, and you allow people to put calls in your diary, and you just think, my God, am I not allowed to move from here all day? Whereas if I was in the office, I would be like, what? I would be away from my desk. Whereas when you're in the house, you just feel that you have to sit there all day and accept the invite that comes through. And I'm like, nope. So no, we've got into a better habit of, because Stuart works from home as well, trying to prep lunches. So we've got into this habit of kind of like trying to buy these kind of pulled meat boxes, and that kind of like works in wraps for like maybe 2 or 3 days or something like that. And then we'll do the, like maybe tuna and egg or something. But I'm curious for the soups because I love soup. But I was like, what protein can I get in a soup?
Totally.
I'm obsessed with protein.
But I know what you mean. It's so true because you always think soup's class. I think it will fill you up, but then sometimes it doesn't, and you're like, you actually need something in it, don't you? I mean, I'm terrible for that as well. I made a rule about it, like getting, it's so funny you mention that because it's literally my pot of soup and then I'll just fling a protein bar next to it.
That's the same with me.
Because I was like, what? How do you get your protein with your soup? You know, so it might be a matter of, see, like you're saying that pork thing. Like, see, even if you get like shredded chicken or something and fling it into your soup, that might be a shout. Just something easy like that, or I like if you just cook a chicken breast and shred it up and add that in your soup. That might be quite nice, depending on what kind of soup it is you've got, obviously. But
do you know what I have as well, Fiona? See that clear protein that we were talking about a while back? I have that as like my drink at lunchtime, if you know what I mean, just to kind of try if I'm having like a lighter lunch. I'll send you it, but it's like a clear protein that kind of tastes like
juice, isn't it?
It kind of tastes like a diluting juice, and I have that as like my drink, and I think it's like 20 grams of protein. So if you're having like a lighter lunch, it's quite a good thing to. I mean, it's a bit lumpy, you need to give it a good shake, but again, just down it.
Aye, totally. That might be better for you as well, Angela, as well, if it's not that, because it's not the thick consistency.
It's like not thick.
Yeah, that is definitely more like it, and there's lots of flavours. Like, I like the orange and mango one, that's quite nice. What ones did you get, Lauren?
Yeah. Watermelon, I love it. I'll send you I'll take a picture of it and I'll put it in the chat, but it's quite good just to kind of add in, you know, and it feels as if you're just having like a juice.
Yep, bring it on.
Nice. Cheers. Right then, guys, so we've done the goods, so shout out a lesson learned from last week. So something that might not have went well, but you've dealt with it, and whatever you've taken from it, how could you do better with it? If it was to happen again, what could you do if you're in that kind of situation? Anything at all? With diet, exercise, training, steps, sleep, stress, all the good stuff.
I think I probably wouldn't leave it so long, you know, like even if I just kept on moving a bit more, like being on holiday and stuff like that. I think I've kind of let myself go a wee bit. Like the first week or so I was motivated, and then I've just become an absolute couch potato. So even just if you are not feeling like it, to try and get your steps in, or try and do something small rather than just doing nothing.
Yeah, totally. And it is hard, because as like you say, it's like the longer you leave it, the harder it is to get back.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Absolutely.
Leslie, you said missing exercise affects my mood and needs to be prioritised. Totally, because that's like one of your best things is getting your workouts in. Like, you are really, really good at that. You just also book in for your classes, and then you've booked it, like you see me every Tuesday and stuff like that. So you are really diligent at getting those workouts in, and that's brilliant.
So, like last week, so because you weren't about, I didn't see you on Tuesday, so I went to class on Monday and I went on Friday, and then I couldn't fit in a class on Wednesday because I'm tutoring at uni on a Wednesday. So I didn't, other than taking the dog for a walk, I didn't exercise between Monday and Friday. And by the time I got to Friday, I just felt rubbish.
Yeah.
And actually getting to the 6 o'clock class on Friday morning made me feel so much better.
Good. That's really good. Because you normally have a wee mixture as well, don't you? You like a wee bit of strength, a wee bit of cardio stuff.
Yeah, so I've kind of tried actually doing the Friday morning 6 o'clock class was a strength class rather than HIIT, and it was a really nice change.
Good. Nice. And how are you finding the 6 a.m. ones?
It's actually working out okay, because 6 o'clock it's now too dark to take Archie out for a walk. Like, I wouldn't go up to the park with Archie alone when it's pitch black.
Yeah.
So like this morning I came and saw you at 6, and then came home, had my breakfast, had a shower, then took Archie out for a walk, and I had done all that by 8:30, and then went to work. So it worked out all fine.
Good. Smashing it. Well, that's class, definitely. And then at least you know as well, because if you feel better for the exercise, don't you? Like, you just know, I need to do this because I know I'll feel good. It's
definitely
like a guaranteed reward, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good on you. Rona, I recognise the need to be patient, particularly when injured, but even get steps in is good. Aye, definitely. You and poor Stuart marching your way about, pounding the pavements. I'm the worst thing that's ever happened to that man.
I know. I swear to God, he must feel like that. Oh God, get this back better soon. I swear every night I'd be like that. Are you coming to walk with me? Oh my God, not again.
Oh, that's so funny. But no, but fair play, like you have done so well to keep, because you said that like keeping moving did help, didn't it? And having your standing desk and all that. Like it's easy if you've got an injury to just patch it all and just kind of give in comfort. But you've done the right thing. You've managed it so well, and you have been sensible. I know it's like been an absolute skinner for you, trying to be patient and not getting your hockey or your boot camps and all the rest of it from what you're used to. But you've done well. You've been very sensible, and obviously like your progress pictures and everything you've been doing, we've been doing your measurements and everything's heading in the right direction, and you've been seeing such a difference just by doing, you know, you've got your PT session and your steps and your diet. Like it has made such a big difference for you. And obviously the shame is that you haven't got to the other things because you just enjoy them anyway, but you've still made great progress despite having an injury, so you should be like really pleased with that anyway.
Do you know, I totally am, and I'm quite surprised at the progress that's been made, because I honestly thought, oh, this is bloody typical. You know, I start a new programme of stuff and then I get injured about 2 weeks into it, and I'm like, this is rubbish. And I had these big plans about all my classes and how much further on I would be, but I must admit I'm very chuffed with what's been achieved so far. Totally surprised by it, but I can only think that's down to like my nutrition. I feel as if I'm totally blown away by that side of it. I really am. So no, once I get back into it, and I swear I am not a patient person at all. So for the fact that I've done this the way I have this time is like so unlike me, because I'm normally like, 2 weeks later I'll be fine, I'll just go back and I'll start training, and I'll just go back and I'll do this. But I think maybe getting a wee bit older, I'm not that, oh my God, I don't want to end up a cripple.
No, totally. Exactly, it is. It's just being more mindful of it, isn't it? Because you just don't want to make things worse, and then it knocks you back even further, isn't it? No, well done. You've done really well. And then Ange, not sure, can run in the wind and rain. Love that. You're waterproof.
Well, that was tonight. It's like a proper gale up here tonight, and I was like, oh God, I'm gonna have to go out and run. And then I was just like, right, got to get the steps in.
Well done. So, what was your run like? What would you be going for, time or distance or what?
I just went for steps.
No,
I've got like 3.8 miles or something, but thankfully the wind was like in my face all the way there, and then on the way back it was behind me, so that was a treat.
Brilliant. Oh, definitely blow you home. That's good.
Blew me up the hill on the way home.
Oh God, you finish on a hill?
Always the finish on the hill at my house.
Nice.
It's like brutal.
You're mental, Angela. Love it. Brilliant, guys. Well done for sharing all those. That's class. So it is definitely like, it's nice to see obviously the good things and then the things that you learn from as well. It makes such a difference, because it is class always sharing the good bits, but the bad, they like, are not bad, but obviously when things happen, it's not the end of the world, and there's always things we can do better at. So the concern, it was adding cardio, that was it. So loose skin, adding cardio. So I'll talk about loose skin first. Basically, I've made the slide, but I actually don't really know that much about loose skin, if I'm being perfectly honest, in what can you do about it kind of way. So one of the biggest things that I find, a lot of it, from what I do know, is genetics. Age can come into play, and also how quickly you lose weight can sometimes make a difference. If you've got much muscle, can make a difference. And I think that's that. Like kind of what I'm saying is, genetic wise, some people might be more prone to having loose skin than others. That's not just from weight loss and stuff. Obviously, when people have children and things like that, some people might have a little bit more loose skin than others. And then if you've had a few pregnancies or whatever, then that can also make a difference. And sometimes it kind of lessens and the skin kind of readjusts, but also some people just have that loose skin and it doesn't really go away. The good thing to know is that you're going to be healthier. So if you have been quite heavy and you've lost a lot of weight, then although you might have that loose skin, you're definitely going to be in a healthier place in regards to the body fat that you're carrying. So that's always important. But it's not to take away from the fact that people can get quite upset about loose skin and can be very self-conscious of it. And I've, had a client before who did lose a lot of weight, and she was left with some loose skin. This was quite a few years ago, actually. And she was quite, not disappointed by it, but I think it was just, she's obviously achieved so much weight loss and she was feeling great. but she was just unfortunately self-conscious about this loose skin, and it's not really something that I've had to deal with much, to be honest, because a lot of time clients that have lost weight, they don't really have, I've not really had people that have had like a lot of loose skin or anything like that. I do know that people that are maybe on the heavier side, they might have a bit more loose skin. So it's definitely something I'm going to look into more, because I don't really know like if there's anything that we can do around that. I just think from experience, losing weight sensibly and a bit more slowly gives the body a bit more time to adjust rather than dramatic weight loss. And it's like your skin hasn't really, I don't know the science behind how the skin works that way, but from experience, I'm just meaning that if we've done like a slower or steadier or more sensible weight loss, then there's not really been that much loose skin. It varies with age as well, because as we get older, the skin loses a bit of elasticity and things like that. And like I say, genetics wise, some people might just be a bit more prone to it. Similarly, like cellulite, some people are just genetically more prone to it than others. So it is something that I will look into more and find out a bit more information, because I know that it can be quite upsetting for people if they have it and they feel like there's not really anything they can do about it. So from my side of things, I'll look at it to see if there's anything that I can do or any advice I can give about it. Sometimes people find that when they gain a bit more muscle, the loose skin's a bit less noticeable. So definitely noticed that before. You might have heard of something like skinny fat is like a term that's been kind of used in social media and stuff, and that's kind of used to describe people that are kind of thin or slim, but they aren't like toned, or they don't have much muscle definition, or like they don't really work out. So sometimes it's people that have maybe lost a lot of weight, or have just like kind of slim built or whatever, but they don't have any muscle or anything on them. So they're quite soft, like they've not got the strong muscle structure or anything. So they call that, I think, skinny fat or whatever the phrase is, but it's just a stupid term anyway. But from people that have kind of had that weight to lose, I have noticed that if the people that have weight trained, probably is why I've not seen it much, to be honest, with my clients, because my clients all lift weights, and they're building up muscle, and they're having a bit more definition underneath the skin, and they're not really having the loose skin. So I think that's a big thing, is making sure you're strength training, developing some muscle. Obviously, this is why protein's going to be important as well to help build the muscles, and not like bodybuilder build them, but just to have that bit of tone and definition, a bit of muscle under there, and it stops the skin kind of hanging. That's kind of only what I can think of why I've not really came across it too much with clients in the past, compared to maybe like if people have lost weight dramatically and not really dieted properly, or not really ate very well, they've just lost lots of weight, and not really paid too much attention to like strength training, developing muscle, and eating protein and things like that, which is what we guys, like we all really encourage, like we all focus on these things. So like I say, I'll try and find out a bit more about loose skin, because I know it is something that people can kind of be concerned about across all ages. It's not just older people or people that are, quite overweight or have lost a lot of weight. So I'll find out more about that, and if I get some good stuff on it, I'll do a wee training thing about it, because I know that it's something a lot of people kind of think about. And then the next one, so adding cardio for fat loss. So this can be really handy. So like I said there, we all focus on, for any extra fat loss, we're prioritising nutrition, protein, strength training, and steps. Steps can be seen as cardio, kind of, but it's basically your steps are just getting you moving on a daily basis. So obviously, like getting the steps in, it can pretty much be anything that you're doing daily. So now we talk about, vigorous cleaning, things like that gets you moving, getting up and down frequently, take the dog for a walk, all these kind of things that just keep you moving on a daily basis. We use steps because it's quite easy to track, and it's fairly simple for everybody to go out and get a walk and things like that. So that's why we use steps. But if you're actually looking at adding in cardio for fat loss, it can be a really good tool to complement what you're doing, but you don't want it to be the only thing you're doing. So you don't want to get fixated on your calorie burn during cardio workouts. So if you do like a HIIT class, or you're on the Stairmaster, or you're going for a run, whatever it might be, don't worry about what the calorie burn is, because remember the calorie burn is going to be really inaccurate and you don't want to be eating those calories back. You're also not necessarily burning those calories, so it just doesn't really mean anything to you in regards to your weight loss. However, you will be burning calories through cardio. I could give you an arbitrary number. Sometimes I might give people X amount of calories to do for a cardio workout, but it's basically just giving you a target. It's not actually meaning I want you to burn 250 calories. It's like, right, your target's 250 calories to do in that session. But it's not actually the number that I'm not actually wanting you to burn that amount of calories. It's just saying, it's the same as if I was like, right, do a 5K or, here comes the warning, the 10-minute warning. It's just saying, or go for 30 minutes, whatever it might be. It's just a measurement that I'm giving you. It's not actually me wanting you to burn X amount of calories, because it's so inaccurate. But cardio can be really good to complement it, especially if we get to a point that I don't want to bring your calories any lower. So maybe we've had you on a steady deficit for a few months, and then you might hit a wee kind of plateau. You're not really seeing any changes, and at that sticking point, your calories are low enough, but I don't want you to be going any lower to a point that it's going to just hinder your life or make you tired or cause you to come out of your calorie deficit and overeat and crave all sorts of food. So what I might do is add in a little bit extra cardio, and it's going to be, like I say, it's going to complement. So it might be even a wee 20 minutes on the Stairmaster, or do a wee 10 minutes at the end of your workout, do an extra bit of cardio, or go for an extra run, maybe increase your steps. But there's always going to be a point that it negatively impacts your progress. So if you are somebody who your total limit that you can do steps wise, you're getting say 10,000 steps and no more, like that is you really, really putting effort in. If I then increase your steps to 15,000 and you're like, I can't, like, when am I actually meant to get those extra steps in? Am I meant to get up so much? If you start getting up earlier to get those extra steps in, but you're absolutely knackered at your work, and it's totally having a negative impact on you, then that's when it's not really going to be beneficial to you. So you want to be sensible when you're adding in cardio for fat loss, and make sure, like, you can break up. You don't need to do like big long cardio sessions. Even adding in a wee 10-20 minutes here after a workout and things like that can make a really big difference. And even like what we're saying with Rona there, by having an increase in your steps, focusing on your nutrition, things like that can make such a difference. And we don't need to be throwing lots of crazy cardio in. Sometimes that's people's go-to when they panic. I've seen it happen so many times. People are doing absolutely amazing with their progress, and then something happens in their head. They're like, I'm just going to do cardio. I'm just going to focus on cardio. Everything goes out the window, and then they're just focusing on cardio burn, and it's just totally, it's so inaccurate. It's ridiculous on these watches and things like that. Like I said, it can be a useful measurement. So say you're doing HIIT classes and stuff, and you get X amount of calorie burn in that class. Then say in the next class, you're aiming for that same X amount of calorie burn, because you know that's the same kind of effort level you're putting into the class before. It doesn't necessarily mean you want to be burning that level of calories, but just gives you an idea how hard you were working last time, and then if you're doing that same kind of number. So it's handy that way. And like I said, cardio can be really handy for complementing everything else you're doing. But the other things you're prioritising is your strength training, nutrition, steps, sleep as well. That's all. I always forget about that, but it is really important when you're dieting, is your sleep and your rest, your recovery. But those are the main things that you focus on. And then if you plateau, then that's when we add in a wee bit of cardio. That's when we give it a wee extra push. And that's normally more towards the end of a diet phase that we start looking at that, because that's when you're starting to kind of draw from all your resources. Cardio is like your last kind of protocol. So it might be if you've got a holiday or something coming up and you're like, right, I've got a month left, final wee push, those last few pounds will add a bit more cardio. And that's when it's really good to add in. You don't want to be doing all this cardio all the way through, because you're focusing on the other things. They're the ones that make the big difference. And then your cardio stuff can just be a wee extra to push you along. Alrighty, so if anybody's obviously ever thinking about, should I do more cardio, you can absolutely ask and say, like, can I get a wee bit more in? Because I think it's stuff you enjoy as well, like if it's classes or online workouts or whatever it might be, then absolutely, like, it's really good. But if you're kind of thinking about relying on it for fat loss stuff, then we can have a chat about it and see if at any point we can add some more in, because also cardio is good for your heart and lungs, so it's really important from that side of things. But when it comes to fat loss, it doesn't have to be the only thing that we use to lose weight. Right, we're nearly there, guys. So we have got October challenge, another challenge. This is just a wee mini one. This is nothing too wild. This is just something to kind of throw in there. You can take it or leave it if you want. It's basically an abs blast, a new workout every week. And basically the challenge is how many abs blasts can you throw in. So like I was saying there about adding in a wee bit extra complementary cardio, this can just be a wee something you can add on to the end of your workouts, or if you get a wee 10 minutes, you can throw it in throughout the day. If you could want something to start off your morning, a wee quick abs blast to up your routine, then that's good. A wee something to do before you go to bed. It's going to be really simple. I'll upload it tomorrow. And like I said, they're just 10-minute max abs workouts. So there'll be one this week, another one next week, the week after. So there'll be 4 in total by the end of the month. And then they'll be saved as well on the YouTube channel. So it means that if at any point you ever fancy a wee abs blast, you'll have some wee extra workouts there to choose from. So I'll upload that tomorrow with a wee bit more information. But yeah, it's just a wee extra challenge. So if MD's finished their workout and fancies a wee abs blast, then there's options there. But basically, how many can you get done in a week is basically the challenge. How many times did I say basically? And then next, so this is another challenge, but this was in the wee kind of pipeline thing that I emailed out to everyone. It's the Christmas outfit showdown. So this is just a bit of fun, but it's also something to kind of keep you motivated in the lead up to Christmas. So it's an 8-week challenge. It starts on the 10th of October. Now, I don't know if everyone's already picked out what they're going to be wearing in their Christmas nights outs and stuff like that. If you have an idea of something, or you've already maybe got something that you're going to wear, then you can take your picture wearing it. And then if it's maybe not fitting great, or it might be a bit tight, or you just want to maybe look a wee bit better in it, then this is going to be your 8-week challenge to kind of keep you pushing through. Because like I said, for most of you, I want you, if you are dieting and stuff just now, I want everyone to be on at least maintenance calories, if not surplus, for Christmas. I don't want anyone to be dieting in December. So this is going to be like an 8-week challenge to take us up to, December time. And then you should be feeling good for your Christmas night out coming up. So 8-week challenge is all it's going to last. Basically nothing really changes for you guys. You've all got your individual goals and things like that. So not everyone's on fat loss goals, but the majority of us are on kind of physique-based goals anyway, or changing or tweaking little bits and bobs. So this 8-week challenge is a bit of fun, but if you have got a goal, or if you've got an outfit planned for your Christmas or work night out, then this is going to be ideal to take you up to it. So like I said, it starts the 10th of October. If you've not got a Christmas outfit, you could just stick a dress on or something that you've got that maybe doesn't fit as great, or maybe used to fit better or something like that. Maybe even a pair of jeans that are a bit snug, whatever it might be. Then we're going to be doing that in the lead up to Christmas. And then we've got a team workout planned. So that's not till the 6th of November. This one is going to be a personal best workout. So we did this back February, I think it was. And it was really, really good. We did your squat and your bench press, and we're working up to 1 rep maxes, and this is going to be a good time of year to do it as well, because everyone will be coming onto some fresh new programs. You'll be thinking about new goals and things like that, and it's just a really good incentive to know where you're at strength wise, just to know where this is where your 1 rep max is for your squat, for your bench press. We never had enough time to do the deadlift, but I'll definitely make sure we get that done on this one. For people that were there in February, it'll be a good opportunity for you to compare as well, and see where you were at in February, and to see where your strength is at now, see how much you've improved throughout the year. And if you weren't there back in February, then it's just going to be a good jumping off point for you to kind of test your strength and see where you're at. And then it means when we come around to do the next one again, then you've got that comparison. So 6th of November, it's going to be, so you can stick it in your diary, because it's still obviously a month away. So I've made sure I've given everyone enough notice. So yeah, it'd be nice to see as many of us there as possible, and that will probably be like our last wee meet up. Hopefully I'll get a Christmas night out or something planned for you guys as well. It'd be quite nice to do something anyway, but I know everybody's going to have lots of commitments come December, so we'll see how that goes to organise a wee something, even if it's just like a wee afternoon or doing whatever. But yeah, the team workout, that'll be a fun one to do, because it's just a good wee buzz. Everyone really enjoyed it last time, and I think we're having everyone there and encouraging you, like people did really, really well to smash some personal bests, which is what we like to see. Seeing you all getting nice and strong, feeling fitter and all the rest of it. We might throw in a wee bit of Pilates or something nice at the end as well, to finish it off. or maybe something a bit more relaxing. Actually, I say Pilates is nice, like it actually is, but we know from the last workout that it wasn't. It was a pure lie. Nice, guys. So what we all thinking of that then? We're up for it, up for the challenges. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Exciting. So I'll get all that fired up into the group tomorrow. I think this is about to run out. But thanks everyone for joining me tonight. Thanks for sharing all your stuff. And well done, and here's to a class week.
Cool. Thanks, Fiona.
Amazing, guys. Well done. Right,
Thanks, Fiona. See you this week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.